Welcome back to Becoming. I'm Nick Slater, joined by my lovely co-host and girlfriend, Zoe Markell. Today is a fun one. We're getting a little bit toxic.
Is that my idea?
This is your idea. One of the great tunes.
Very fitting for Mardi Gras weekend.
Very fitting for Mardi Gras. The reason we're doing this is because we are talking toxic dating games. We've had enough. We've had it up to here.
Because we're so actively dating.
But we keep getting reports from our friends, from the people out there in the wilderness, in the jungle. They're having a hard time dating because so many people are playing games.
Sounds horrendous out there.
We need to start a petition to end dating games for good.
Once and for all.
So in this episode, we're going to go through some of the most common dating games. These might be happening just under your nose, and you don't even know they're happening. So we're going to talk about them today, what you can do, and why they are blocking you from attracting real love into your life.
Juicy one.
Should we just dive into it?
I reckon.
What's the first one?
The first one is, and probably the most common, waiting before texting back.
Look, I got to be honest with you. I used to do this. I can't remember if I did it with you in particular.
You're keen.
Yeah. Back in the day, when I had zero idea what I was doing, I'm sure I was guilty of waiting before texting back because there's this myth that it makes them more interested.
Just bloody annoying is what it is. I love games and this is my least favourite game. Like every time your phone lights up, you quickly check, oh, is it them? No, it's mum again. And it's just like, come on, keep the conversation going. I hate having to wait 2 business days to get a reply. It's frustrating.
I guess the idea is that if you don't text back straight away, it gives the idea that you're really busy and that you're not available for the person.
Yeah, it's to make yourself look cool. I get it. I probably have done it too. But why play these games?
You want to create this allure that you're mysterious and you're so busy and I get that, and that will attract people, but it's attracting the wrong people and it's not being authentic to yourself.
I think the most secure people would actually just text back because they've got nothing to prove or show for themselves.
Yeah, you got to be brave.
Yeah.
You got to put your heart on the line a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's what we did to each other. And yes, that's going to backfire sometimes. And the people who aren't ready for that love, they're not going to reply. And it's going to push them away. They might get a bit of an ick or something.
Yeah, you don't want to be too keen, like annoying, like, reading before they've even finished writing a sentence. But I think keeping the momentum going and not trying to play these games.
And it's really attractive when someone's brave and when you can tell they're not playing the games, they're not waiting to reply back and they just give you a bit of banter up front.
Yeah.
And you get on this lovely momentum of conversation and you can text all night.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to us.
Yeah, I was going to say, I actually messaged you first. Like I have no shame or fear in being the first one to reach out. I think it's a stigma of like, you have to wait for the guy to speak first. I think with you, you did follow me first. I want to preface that, but I was happy to message because you took forever to make a move. So
let the record state, I was on a golf weekend with the boys and I had it earmarked for the first thing I was doing when I was getting home was texting you, but I didn't make it that long and you sent me a message while I was on the boys weekend. Sorry, do I know you? Which is actually great chat.
Do you just want to do the boring like, hey, how are you?
Yeah, and it immediately made me reply because it creates this cheekiness. And look, everyone, if you're dating, the goal is to find love. So why are you sabotaging yourself with these stupid games of not
100%.
replying?
I think I'm actually the opposite. Like I triple text. I'm one of those people that's just a bit weird. But I think it's fun that way, If I want an answer, I will question mark you one after another.
That's now you're sounding a bit psycho. But that's authentic to you. And, when you're dating, that person's going to find out who you are sooner or later. So they may as well find out straight away.
Yeah.
Get an idea about who you actually are, then can form some kind of judgment based on that and decide whether they want to move ahead with things.
Yeah.
So if they're not replying, ditch them, move on.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you reckon?
Maybe a bit drastic, but you get the hint. And also try and be brave yourself. Practice the next time you match with someone or you get someone's number. Be the first to reach out and then don't wait to reply.
Yeah, because sometimes you can overthink it as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you might fancy that person, spend too long crafting your reply. But the key, I think, is to just pretend like you're texting your mate. You're not going to spend 20 minutes ruminating over a text to your mate.
Yeah.
Just punch it out. Don't overthink it. And I actually think that is more magnetic than not replying because it shows that you've got nothing to fear.
Yeah.
It shows that you're not afraid of anything.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's going to be attractive.
Yeah.
All right, what's the second one?
So the next one is numbers game, which is when you don't put all your eggs in one basket, you're sort of talking to a few people or dating a few at the same time. Got a few numbers on your desk.
Yeah. It's like a quantity game.
Yeah.
So you need to rack up the volume because that's the only way you're going to have some go through your funnel.
Yeah. And look, I think this is a hard one because
Probably a better way to say that.
I think it's hard because I don't think you should put all your eggs in one basket. You know, if you are just focusing on one person, this is at the very beginning stages when you've just matched. You can sort of be setting yourself up to not necessarily be hurt, but I think it is a bit of a numbers game at the beginning because you need to see who you're vibing with. And if you are just putting everything on one person, then you might be disappointed if they're doing the same, but they're actually feeling a better connection with someone else.
So are you talking numbers as in texting a few different people at once or going on a few different dates?
Texting. This
or
is
sleeping
very
with a few different people.
Prefacing, this is the initial texting phase. But I'm not talking, I'm like saying 2, maybe max 3.
Yeah.
Otherwise it just gets confusing. I remember I think it was Jazz. She was messaging a few guys at the same time and she then went on a date with one of them and said something like, "Oh, how was last weekend on the boys' trip?" And he's like, "Wasn't me." She's like, "Shit." It's too much admin, I think, if you're spinning too many plates.
Oh, absolutely. It's enough admin having one to text.
Especially a keen texter.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think in those early stages, there's no harm in texting a few different people at once because the likelihood of you going on a date with that first one's pretty low. So
Yeah.
I guess what's percentage of people would you talk to would end up into a date? I'm speaking broadly, not your personal experience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, what's the ratio? Probably 1 in 3.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess talking to 3 people at once is fine.
Yeah.
I'd say going beyond that.
Yeah.
That's when you might be sending the wrong messages.
Yeah. And if you're investing, I think dating is different to texting because you're investing a lot of time and you should focus on one person when it comes to that stage and sort of give it your all. You don't want to be sleeping with 3 people at the same time. That's just gross.
Unless it's Mardi Gras. Do you think, yeah, if you are dating, say you go on 3 dates in the 1 week, do you think energetically you're sending mixed messages to the universe and you're not being clear?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think 3 would be too many.
What worked for us really well is because it didn't seem like we had anyone else in the picture. And so you just send a message to the other person that you're ready, you're available, you're brave, and there's no one else in the picture, which is actually really beautiful, I think.
Yeah, it's sort of like, let's give this a go.
Because it created this like a safety. And I think when people are seeing other people, you can tell that through their energy, and it might make the other person feel quite anxious because they don't know where they stand.
I think you just always know if someone's into you because they want to give you their undivided attention. You can feel, energetically, it is just you in the picture. People are so scared to be vulnerable, and that's probably I think that'll be the underlying theme of all these things. People are scared to be vulnerable and seem like they're interested. So they take a while to text back. They might be seeing too many people at once. But the moment you can show up authentically and be brave and fearless in that, you're going to get great results. Yeah.
Sure, some people might see that and get an ick or whatever, but they're not the right people for you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Flick them.
Flick them off. I can say, flick the bean.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying if like none of those dates eventuate, you just got to go flick the bean.
The next one, number 3, is treat him mean to keep him keen. The old favorite.
Yes. Yeah. Look, this is another one that I'm probably guilty of in the past because they're the messages you get.
I can't imagine you doing that.
As a young, naive idiot, you hear these things, treat him mean like keep him keen. It's become popular for a reason. So I'm sure we got that programmed to us through movies or whatever.
Yeah.
But it goes back to making yourself seem less available.
Yeah, like you don't care, which is bizarre.
And does it also extend into ribbing and paying the other person out?
What's ribbing?
Just means like being like slightly mean to them.
Oh yeah, through like banter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could have, I don't think physically it's actually in my DNA to be mean. So I don't think I've ever played this game.
No, but you've got great banter and you tease.
Do you like a good tease?
Yeah. But I guess treating mean is sort of, it's a next level above that. Hey?
Yeah. Yeah. And girls don't like that.
Has it ever worked for you?
Oh, maybe like in school or something, you know, when you're working out life. But I think if someone did that to me now, I'd be so off it. Just be like, nah.
Yeah, it's a schoolyard tactic.
Yeah.
People really should not be showing up doing that these days.
Especially if they are teasing you or being mean in front of other people. I think that's the worst thing people can do to put you down to sort of get a laugh.
Yeah, massive red flag. If someone is treating you mean to keep you keen and if they're doing it to manipulate you, massive red flag.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next one?
Fake future plans leading you on.
So is this when someone's love bombing you and they're sort of dangling some carrots in front of you on a date?
Yeah, exactly. So they'll say things on the date like, oh, we should plan to go to the Moonlight Cinema, or I'd love to go to Bali with you, to sort of keep you thinking, oh, I'm in his future. But then
I did a skit on this on situationships, I think.
Yeah, I remember.
It was breadcrumbing. And the guy's like, yeah, we should go to Paris. And I feel like that is the most generic love bombing thing, making future plans.
Yeah.
Do you think some girls fall for that though? Surely I'm sure there's many girls who go on dates and the guy's like, no, baby, got a lot of money. We should go traveling, jump in my old vintage Porsche and we'll go for a road trip.
Sign me up. No.
So why is it bad?
It's bad because they're breadcrumbing you.
Yeah.
It's never
You can't work out what's bad.
I'm like, wait, this sounds quite good. No, it's bad because the plans never eventuate. You're not even in their future.
Yeah.
They're probably taking Rosie to Bali next week.
Well, they're manipulating.
Yeah.
They're trying to lure you in by offering material goods.
Yeah.
They're not luring you in with a genuine relationship.
Yeah.
And I think it shows insecurity if someone has to use things to lure someone in.
Yeah,
It shows
so
that
true.
they don't have value themselves.
Bali will make it all better.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
Hey, is that a Becoming shirt you've got on there?
Yes. So for those watching from YouTube, we are trialing some Becoming merch.
Repping the merch.
It's just a classic white tee, little logo.
Is it breathable?
Nice and breathable.
It looks great on you, Beth.
Thanks. I think this is a small.
Yes.
Really selling it now.
So we're thinking of going, that's just a white tee or a black tee with a logo here.
Maybe a cap would be cool.
A cat.
Cap.
Yeah, I'd love to do some caps. This is great because you know those tech entrepreneurs who can wear the same thing every day?
Yeah.
This will just help
White tee
simplify
and jeans vibe.
Yeah, this will help simplify my wardrobe.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
All right, let's keep going with the games.
Keep going. So up next we have lack of consistency. So being wishy-washy. So I think that's the classic, like they're quiet all week, not texting you, but then come 10 p.m. on a Friday and they're like, hey, how are you? We should catch up. And it's like, you're just disguising a booty call. You may as well say you up.
Yeah.
You're out, you've had a few beers and suddenly you want to see me.
100% is disguising the booty call.
Yeah.
A particular friend, Marto, comes to mind with this one, known for his booty calls. And he blames it on being busy during the week, which, you know, has merit, but you can't just send a text saying you up.
Yeah. In the day, sure. Like I don't mind a spontaneous message in the day to do something. But if it's past, dinner time, you're definitely asking for one thing.
What do you think the cap is? What time?
I'm going to go north of 6 p.m.
Is something sexual after 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
well,
okay. You're going to start texting me after 6, aren't you? Yeah. No, I guess you need more context. But if it's a drunken message and they haven't been messaging you all week, then
yeah, it depends what you're looking for too. That might be good for some girls who just want something casual. But
yeah.
If you're looking for your man and he's not putting any legwork in, just sending a text.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
But yeah, the texters that are like, oh, sorry, I've just been so busy all week. So texting back doesn't take that much energy. I'm sure on your commute in or, just before bed, you can slip a quick message. I hate people that say they're too busy to
100%. And it also signals how they'll be in the relationship.
Yeah.
If they don't have time for dating, they're not going to have time for a relationship as well.
They're not that into you if they can't text you back.
It goes back to you almost have to model with any goals in life. You have to model what you want the results to be. You have to live like you've already got the results. So to attract a great relationship, you have to create space in your life for that relationship and almost act like you've got that relationship already.
Yeah.
So in that case, like, yeah, showing up as a great date by putting the legwork in, showing her that he's a great leader, that he can plan things and that he's going to be emotionally available.
Yeah.
So what can you do during dating that's going to reflect how you are as a great partner?
And I think also on the receiving end, if this is happening to you, we need to start putting a stop to this. So maybe message back like, oh, well, I guess you're too busy to date in general then, so bye.
Yeah.
If you can't text me back, Ben.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And let us know in the comments if you guys are coming across these games.
Yeah.
We've been out of the market for almost 2 years. So,
oh my God, that's crazy.
So let us know. Give us some feedback. Tell us what it's like out there.
It will be 2 years in May. Where is time going?
I've planned a really great anniversary.
Have you? Do you know what date in May?
Yeah, it's May.
You don't, do you?
Of course I do.
Come on.
Babe, not for the listeners. It's private.
You don't?
Yeah, it's May 2.
Come on.
May 2.
We'll take this offline.
We'll take this offline. Next one.
I can't believe it. So this one is called Triangulation, which is a fairly new concept that I learned about. So it's when they bring up a third party. So a girl...
Ménage à trois?
Eh?
Is it a threesome?
No, not quite.
Oh.
It's when they're bringing up an ex or a girl at work or a girlmate or someone to make you jealous or insecure. Sort of like a power play, so they can have one up on you. They want you to...
It's an extension of treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. But it's making you jealous through bringing up someone.
Right, yeah. That's toxic as fuck.
Yeah. Like, oh, me and Katie have just started a run club together. Katie's so fun.
So say I'm engaging you. I'm trying to go take you on a date.
Yeah.
I purposely bring up a friend who's like a hot girl and use her to leverage this situation.
Yeah.
Do people actually do that?
This is quite calculated.
Yeah.
This is like borderline sociopath.
Oh, it's pretty clever.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
Babe, who's Dan and why is he on the couch?
Yeah.
Triangulation.
Just going for after work drinks again.
Yeah. No, that is pretty clever, but so toxic because, again, you're not being authentic. You're manipulating your person. And that's a pretty bad way to start your relationship.
Yeah.
Just going to let the cat out.
Yeah, he's crying. I think in general, making someone insecure on purpose is just horrible.
Yeah.
Massive red flag.
Very manipulative behavior.
They're obviously insecure in themselves if they have to do that to make you try and want them more. I think it's a reflection of them more than anything.
Yeah, they're definitely projecting their own insecurities, I'd say, because maybe that works for them or that triggers their jealousy. So they're trying to project that onto someone else.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
I've never done that. It reminds me of being back at school or you like the girl at school and she's sort of flirting with someone else or maybe it wasn't intentional back then, but you know when sort of it's a childlike behavior, I guess.
I've definitely done that in my younger years, flirting with someone on purpose in front of I can't remember if it was like an actual partner or just seeing someone. And like that never works. Well, as a Scorpio, I just get pissed off. But so maybe it does work. But some people don't care. Like you're not jealous at all. You're so secure. Sometimes I'd love you to be just a little bit jealous.
Me? Well, yeah, I feel like we are so secure together.
And I wouldn't be playing those games with you. Sometimes I think if someone gets jealous, it shows how much they are not possessive, maybe protective of you, which is quite nice.
I think it's nice to be protective. Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes those terms can get pretty interwoven, but jealousy, I guess, is more irrational. Protective, it's part of being a good partner, I think. You want to protect your woman, your lady, as long as it's not, encroaching on her life or being irrational with her male friends or whatever it may be.
Yeah. I'm definitely jealous though. That'll never go away.
Yeah.
It's in me.
Do you ever get jealous of me?
Yeah. It was one of the first weddings you brought me to. And obviously I didn't know that many people. So I didn't know who was taken, who wasn't. And there was one girl getting very friendly with you. And I couldn't work out if it's because you knew each other from home or what the relationship was. But you're sort of talking to someone, but keeping one eye on another object. And I was just like trying to suss her out. And I think eventually she wouldn't go away from you. I had to walk over and show her who was boss because.
So, and how did you show her who was boss?
me
trying
to do that.
Oi.
I think I was so nice. I was like, "Hi, I'm Zoe. Who are you?"
Kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't make me jealous because you are such a strong, independent woman.
Oh, thanks.
And I know that your boundaries are so strong. You can stand up for yourself. Your energy is just very dependent and reliable.
I'm dependent.
Yeah. I've been
No,
jealous.
I don't think dependent's a good thing.
You are
independent,
but you're dependable.
Dependable on? Dependent.
You're dependable. I can depend on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know when you say one word over and over again and you forget, like, is it even real?
It stops making
Dependable.
sense.
Yeah.
I've been jealous maybe in the past when maybe it comes down to trust.
Yeah.
If you don't trust your partner, that's when you can
Big
get jealous.
one. Yeah.
But if I fully trust you. So
yeah, no, I
there's no
trust you
jealousy.
too. It's more I don't trust girls.
Okay, what about ghosting?
The big word of the moment.
This could probably be the most cruel one, I think, because generally it happens when you've formed some kind of emotional bond with the person and then they just completely cut you out of their life.
I think it's a cop-out.
Has this ever happened to you?
No. Probably. I feel like it happens to most people, but I just think it's such a cop-out on the boys' part because they're too coward to actually say how they feel. And it's fine if you're not into things, but just say it. Like, ghosting is so annoying because you don't have closure and you don't know why, or if it is over, if they're just sort of going to take a few days to reply. It's like the unknown is most annoying.
It sucks, yeah. Yeah, because it most of the time it is because you've got some banter going, like you like them.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing in dating is to know where you stand with the other person. That's why it's so important to be honest and authentic and tell them what you think and how you're feeling to a point. But yeah, with ghosting or breadcrumbing, you get so anxious because you don't know where you stand with that person. It's a mismatch of expectations as well. So you might be expecting something, they're obviously expecting something different, and that mismatch can create so much inner turmoil.
Yeah.
I've been on the victim side of a ghosting before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Want to talk about it?
It's not nice.
No, it's not nice. It's horrible.
It's not nice because in dating, you need to know where you stand. So with ghosting, when they leave or when they don't text back without any reasoning, you're left to make those reasonings yourself.
Yeah. And then you blame yourself always.
Yeah. And you're going through 100 different possible outcomes of why they have left. But it's probably just one really simple thing.
Yeah.
But because they just didn't give you the time and attention to quickly explain that, you're left to spiral by yourself.
I know. Let's put an end to ghosting. Just be brave and say, I'm just not that into you or this, or look, I'm taking a break from dating. People are mature enough to, I'm sure there would be a few that just wouldn't take no for an answer, but most people would be very appreciative of that.
Oh, for sure. Everyone's old enough and strong enough to deal with any news that comes their way.
Yeah.
But it's when you don't get the news that makes it really hard. When I was dating, I remember if I didn't like a date or if I wasn't interested in the person, I'd always make a note just to send a little short something.
Yeah.
Even if it was never mean or anything, but just, hey, had a great time, but I'm so busy with work at the moment or something.
Yeah.
Just to let that person know where they stand.
Yeah.
Because then they can move on.
Maybe we should create like a ghosting cheat sheet. Oh no, an anti-ghosting cheat sheet. Just things they can use excuses to make if they need to get out of it.
Yeah. Rock up at their house, throw rocks at their window, demand answers.
That reminds me of something weird I did once. Story time. It was one of my first boyfriends, and I hacked into his Hotmail account because it was at the time when we used Facebook, and you'd get emailed every time you got like a new, was it friend request or message, whatever.
Yeah.
And I suspected him of cheating, and actually he was. So I stand by my actions. But
how did you hack in?
Well, this is the crazy bit. So you use their email and then say forgot password, and then you have to answer what are those questions? The security ones.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
It was like, what's your mum's maiden name? So I had to go on the biggest deep dive stalk and on like his sister's page back to 2012 and no, it probably was 2012. And I had to, and then the other one was like, what was your first dog's name? It took me hours to go back to the bottom of all these photos and there he was, Billy. So saw all the messages.
Oh, you saw the messages from the girl he was cheating on?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon that warrants a bit of investigative behaviour.
I think it was quite clever, actually.
So what'd you do then?
Then I said, I know you're cheating. And he said, how? And I obviously couldn't say how I had this information. I said someone told me or something. And then a few weeks later, I think he worked out something was wrong with his Hotmail and confronted me and I just acted. No, it wasn't me.
Is it because you replied to the girl saying, what up, ho?
What's your address?
Yeah. Note to self, make my questions really difficult.
I know yours already.
Ghosting is a nasty one. And actually a few people wrote in with that as well.
Did they?
Yeah, it seems to be pretty common. And I guess it can be that person not replying to texts or say you've got good banter and then they stop replying. It could be you get intimate with someone and then you don't hear back from them.
That's even more mean.
Yeah, that's really cruel. So I would encourage everyone, if you don't see a future with the person, if you're not into them, just take a minute and write a text. Even if it's something small, at least they've got something and they can move on.
Put yourself in their shoes. If you weren't to hear back, how would you feel?
But all of these games, they prevent people from finding the right person, don't you think? Because essentially you're putting up a charade. You're putting up a veil over who you actually are. You're not being authentic.
Yeah, just be your real self.
As soon as you are your real self, as soon as you're brave enough to show up.
Ouch.
That's you. Oh, man. I can't wait to put that in slow-mo.
Ouch.
That's you. Oh, man.
Blooper.
Did you just headbutt the microphone?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, because with us, as part of I say this all the time, part of the reason why it's worked out for us is because we were brave enough to show up as ourselves on that first date.
Yeah.
We saw that person's available and they're emotionally available, and that helped me be brave and open up, and it just snowballs from there.
Be vulnerable. Put yourself outside of your comfort zone and open up and let those walls down. Be goofy. Just be your real self.
100%. Because we like people when they're weird and wonderful self.
Yeah, we don't want everyone to be the same.
That's what makes people magnetic. And to plug our guide, Becoming Magnetic, that's what it's all about. The moment you can tap into your authentic self, and to do that, it does take some work. You can't do it overnight. Part of it is connecting to your core values. It's removing your limiting beliefs that you've been carrying around. It's dealing with the emotional trauma from previous relationships. And once you get through all of that, you can get to your authentic self who can show up on these dates and be open, be fun, be free. And that's the moment you become magnetic.
It's a lovely story.
Yes, I'll put the link below. It's called Becoming Magnetic. It's essentially a modern dating playbook where you can receive the guidance, the insights, the step-by-step process that we use to do the work and find a really aligned partner.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a next one, surviving a relationship, because boy, you're hard work.
My mum would agree. I'm not hard work.
Can we let the people... Your shirt is looking so crisp and ironed. And I've just realised that Zoe was never taught how to iron.
Still don't know how to iron. I just don't need to iron anything. I would if I had a shirt. But I'm just scared of burning things. I've heard horror stories. I just think if you hang them up...
Tell me some of these ironing horror stories.
Well, you can like burn through certain types of materials.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think if you just hang it up on a hanger on the washing line, creases come out themselves.
Never touched an iron. Must be nice.
I'll tell you how I have ironed, and I learnt this at uni, is with my straighteners. So easy. Just get the straightening irons on there and it does the same job.
Well, that's a good hack.
None of this ironing board hassle. It's just a bit of a,
What, a mundane task that is below you?
I'll just let you do it.
So what's the theme of all this episode? We've gone through these dating games, toxic as fuck, and I guess we want to bring awareness to them and stop them for good, because they're not doing anyone any favors.
Nope.
They're hurting people. They're blocking your chance at love. And if you are dating, if you're spending time on apps, stop sabotaging your relationships by engaging in these games.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to be real and be yourself.
Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Click here or wherever YouTube has recommended a video for you, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you then.
I love you.